I was doing some executive coaching.
I'm doing my body combat class.
I got on the treadmill and I was getting into my stride.
I'm in a room with 30 other girls. You know, we're bouncing all over the place.
I had to press the stop emergency.
And then suddenly it happened.
It's not spoken about, so when you say that you're kind of working with Always on a campaign about kind of the taboo of wetting yourself, and people are like, what, you actually wet yourself? And you're like, yeah, I do. So yeah, I think it's just speaking more openly about it rather than being ashamed.
Bladder weakness for me is a symptom of childbirth, and I wouldn't swap for my son for anything.
The first time it happens to you, you're not quite sure what's going on.
I was with my friends' kids on a trampoline. They asked me to come bounce to them. I said, yeah, no problem. And I'm jumping and I'm bouncing and I'm thinking, what is going on here?
My first thought was, how do I explain that, you know, I accidentally wee myself?
I think for a really long time I was just really didn't talk to anyone about it. If you like signed up to Tinder or something, it's not exactly going to be in your profile, are you? Like wets themselves occasionally.
Is this what's going to happen for the next 10, 20 years? Am I just going to have damp and soggy pants the rest of my life?
Probably the worst thing that I've ever done in a sort of panic is when I was at a wedding. I danced, you know, too vigorously and had a bit of an accident, and I just literally grabbed this random baby and put it on my lap and held it there and then blamed it on the baby.
When someone points it out, you're already aware, right? You're very conscious that you've just wet yourself. You're sat in a classroom and you're like, okay, how can I get to the bathroom, sort myself out, and then sort out, let's say, like the pile of wee that's been left at the bottom of the chair. And I remember it just used to be such an I would just sometimes have to sit through the whole class, sit in my chair, wait until everyone had left, and then either like speak to a teacher or kind of just try and like mop it up with like tissues or whatever.
It wasn't necessarily something that I was worried about, but also I didn't necessarily think it was something that I should be talking about. So it was really nice to be able to do this process and actually open up and chat to my girls and realise that I'm not alone.
It's always one of those things that you've just got to be open about. My best friends are totally aware of it, and they're all just like, yeah, I mean, if you wet yourself, just bring a spare pair of pants, we'll clean you up and we're good to go.
There shouldn't be a stigma, because I think it can erode your confidence. You have to put it into perspective and find some way of dealing with it.
We're suddenly having these really open conversations, so it's kind of been a bit like opening up Pandora's box in the nicest possible way.